So here we have Kingdom Slammer, and he is a very nice weaponizer. He's the best one ever released, weaponizer-wise. Slammer is a deluxe class. He's supposed to go up throwing 30's Metroplex, but I don't have Metroplex, so screw that. Has some cool accessories for his body because he uses the combat system of 5mm pegs everywhere. He stands pretty good, but he has no heals, unfortunately, but he also has no backpack. This here can come off. Please don't fall apart on me, Slammer. On both sides to become either dual swords, or by combining these two, you can create one chainsaw sword for Slammer to carry. It's usually mounted on his arm. In fact, it has cutouts in it to be mounted on his arm. Unfortunately, he has a flaw of the pegs being in there being pretty low quality and them not matching very well for the fit. This is a problem you will notice with Slammer, is that the little pegs at the front there, they don't really stain all that well. Of course, as I mentioned it, they stain perfectly fine. His articulation is supreme for what he is, with just in general solid articulation all around. He's very dynamic. He possesses a full upwards and down on his thigh joint, so his hip joint, which gives him a wonderful spread. These can also be flipped around and go the same direction. So he has truly universal thighs with a thigh swivel to the 5mm peg. That stays in actually surprisingly well. Waist swivel due to 5mm peg due to the combat system. A backwards bend, a forwards bend that can untap, giving him an amazing ab crunch. That does, by the way, lock in. He also possesses a ankle tilt, which goes all the way that far and locks in at that far due to transformation. His knee bend is amazing due to transformation. His arms are on not complete standard universals with a full rotation to the 5mm port, pretty high upward bend, and a good lower. His arms are also on a arm swivel, so the upper arm cut swivel due to 5mm port due to the combat system. He has just barely over 90 on his arms, with no wrist swivel, tragically, but he has a 5mm port on the end of it to mount his cannon to him, so you can do the shockwave look. His head is on a ball joint that can go all the way around, look up pretty far and even farther due to transformation, and can look down a decent amount. It's also pretty expressive for side-to-side movement. However, it is loose and comes off pretty easily. Transformation-wise on him, he is pretty simple. First of all, you take off the weapons off of him, both sides, take off the arms, take off the backpack, spin the head around, fold it down, spin the waist, fold it up, rip off the legs, set the torso to the side, grab the backpack, and you're just gonna tab it together. Where's the other thing? There it is. Once the backpack's like this, you're gonna get the arms. They tab together. Unfortunately, they do not tab together on the top half of them, which is very unfortunate. Plug the hilt in, and come on. Then plug the turret in, or the gun barrel in, and you get the top half. And you want to bend this down like this, and leave it like that. You will then take it and plug it into here. And we have that. Then get to the legs. We'll fold that in. And this part here will fold out and it'll lock in here, like locking sound. This will come down and lock into an outer hole on its little 5mm port at the bottom of it. Once both legs are tabbed in, you take the top of this, fold it down, and make a slight soft click, and it will lock into place. You will then take the rear half, fold legs down, or the waist down, and on those bottom two pins, you will plug in the front to the back, and you fold the bottom up, and just adjust everything under there. And you now have Slammer in its alt mode. This alt mode transformation is really nice for what the parts forming is to it, and you get a howitzer. This is not a tank. Contrary to many's belief, Slammer is not a tank. He never was a tank. He was a howitzer, or an artillery piece. So the no side to side turn on the turret is excusable. The up and down movement, which is the same amount you expect from a howitzer, is however perfectly supplementable and perfectly liked. I wish the head was a little bit more hidden, as it can just kind of wiggle around down there. But it is what it is. And also the hole in the middle isn't that comforting. But he in general looks amazing. He does roll kind of well. Well, he would have if the rear wheel wasn't on a friction pin, which sucks. So he slides pretty well. His front wheels do roll very well. Ground clearance on the bottom of him. It's perfect. Looking around him, his back is kind of inconsistent, but in general, he's a very consistent tank all around. Do you recommend picking up Slammer? Yes. If you want a weaponizer, get him. He's a solid 10 out of 10 figure. If you just had wrist swivels, which I get why he doesn't have them, he would be a 10. Either way, though, he's a 10. He's usually pretty cheap. In the US, he's usually about 20 to 25 bucks still, even all these years later. And all around, I gotta tell you this, Slammer is in fact worth it. He is the most worth it weaponizer you could ever get. He also looks like auto troopers. You can troop build very well with him. He's just a nice vehicle. I highly recommend picking him up.